What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are here for episode number 2 of F1 23 My Team Career Mode. If you haven't seen the last episode, episode 1, creating our team and designing the car, make sure you go check that out first before we get stuck into this video. So as you're seeing there, the CG Motorsport 1.0 for season 1 of F1 23 My Team Career Mode. Really apologise for the lengthy break between episodes and videos in general. Really am trying to get on top of doing videos as regularly as possible, even when a new game comes out. So as you saw there, we had a driver department event that we had to go to, and it was about Mark, and I think we increased his pace for something. I think he said that he'd been doing a lot of sim work, and we wanted to know what we wanted to prioritise, and I decided to prioritise his pace because he scored points in the last race, whereas we didn't. So if you guys are just catching up and you need to refresh your minds, we lost the MG UK on lap 10 of the race, which wasn't ideal, but you know, these things happen, and considering we got away with no engine failures on F1 22, we should probably consider ourselves quite lucky. So as you can see there, development and engine wear perks, we've done there level 1 of 3. Always thinking about engine mapping. When we first do that, it'll definitely save wear on power unit, and the more we can go through the engines without having to take many penalties, that's actually a big bonus if you actually think about it. So the longer we keep the engines on, the less penalties we'll have to do later in the year for new components, if that makes sense to you guys at all. So as you saw there, P1 in practice there, I swear I upped the AI difficulty or something like that. I think I ran 100 AI, but this time for qualifying, because the results surprised me in Bahrain last time, because I thought we weren't going to be as good, or you know where we were, because we qualified 7th for Bahrain, and that really surprised me. And we did that on 100 AI. Now at this point, the AI hasn't even been nerfed. Even when this video has been uploaded, I don't know if the AI have even been nerfed at all. So that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on. As soon as the AI are nerfed and do go a bit faster than what they probably are right now, I will definitely, probably lower the AI difficulty back to 101, 102. I think 101, 102 is probably something that we could definitely run at, but this session we're going to go at 103, 102 AI, something like that, only because I don't know, or actually because I'm thinking that we're going to have another strong qualifying performance here. So here we go into qualifying. Because we're a midfield car, we should be okay to get out of Q1 pretty easily. I think after this weekend and maybe Australia, we should probably have a good indication on what the car feels like and how competitive we actually are. So if we are, very competitive from the outset, we are probably on track for a decent finish come the end of the year. So as you saw, they're going wide through the first sector and getting hung up on the curb at the exit of the first sector. That's not exactly ideal. P9 for the first run, about a 10th away from our teammate. Or was that Carlos Sainz that we were a 10th away from? I'm not entirely sure. So we did a cool down, and I know that we can definitely go better. So depending on what we do at the end of this run, if this run is good enough to get us safely into Q2, then we've saved ourselves a set of tyres. So as you can see there, the rears are, or pretty much all of them are close to 10% tyre wear at the moment. So whatever this lap does, we should be okay to get into Q2 on just one set of tyres. We can probably use 2 sets to get into Q3 if you think about it. If we are that quick. Up to the line, provisional pole, 27.8, sorry. So that definitely surprised me. I didn't really expect that kind of pace there. Yeah, that really shocked me. 3/10 from Sergio Perez. So yeah, that definitely surprised me. Webber gets through in P10. So this car does feel good. However, getting hung up on the curb is definitely not ideal. So we did a cool down, and now we're about to go again in the following lap. So as you can see, we're slowing right down to get the maximum speed down the main straight and heading into the first corner. When you do that, it's very easy to misjudge your braking. And again, for the second flying lap running, we got hung up again. So lap ruined, but we're going to continue on with this lap because there's no point in just wasting another lap if you're not going to actually do a lap, actually be setting a banker lap. So that banker was a 30. It was a 1 minute 30 something. So that was on the set of tyres that we used in Q1. So now we're going to chuck on a brand new set. But as you saw there, session time warning, because I fast forwarded time, I lost track of where we actually were. So here we go. We made it to the line to start our flying lap with 7 seconds to go. However, we did take a little bit of juice out of the tyres just doing that. We get a nice slipstream from Lando, and hopefully he gets out of the way kindly. And thankfully he does. I'm going to take you guys on board for the entirety of this lap, because this lap felt really good. Now, through the first sector we go, hitting every apex, staying away from that curve, hugging that inside wall nicely at 9, get through 11 and 12 very nicely, and that is one sector done already up to 12 corners. Turn 13 now, the banked hairpin. Now we're going backwards, back down towards the hairpin at 27. Yeah, a bit of a strange shaped circuit. So as you can see there, going through the left-right chicane, absolutely floated through there, very nice. So this car feels a treat when you really get it right, and it felt really good. Got the braking zoned right, hung it up against the wall on the inside. Now we're on the back straight, and we are just cruising along at the moment. Our personal best middle sector. I wasn't really paying attention at the timing at this point until I got to until I got out of the last turn. So we're 2 and a bit seconds up. This will definitely be enough to get us into Q3, sorry, and it actually put us P1. Yes, it did, P1 again. So we are on for potentially pole position for the Grand Prix. Guan Zhou there in P9 gets a 5 grid place penalty, and I think someone else did too. As it pops up, it was Alex Albon who got himself a grid penalty. I'm sure those two were involved in something. We do have another new set of softs to utilise for Q3, because when you get into Q3 you get given an extra set of softs. So we got 2 sets of softs to play with, but I might actually save that for the Grand Prix itself, in case something does go wrong, which I really hope it doesn't. And once again, just like the last game, we let Hamilton through, but he has no interest in going past, nor does Charles Leclerc. Seriously, I thought that was all done by now. On board with George, I think this is. It has to be George, because he went past it. That is a Ferrari of Carlos Sainz that just came from absolutely nowhere. Seriously, and look, I seriously thought this was over by now. I mean, why are the AI still doing this? Look at Checo. He doesn't want any he doesn't want to give away DRS, so, or I don't know if that makes sense at all, but seriously, I just want to run my own program, guys. Just go past. Oh, anyway, so we start our flying lap. Fronts are a little bit colder than the rears. Hopefully that doesn't worry me too much. A little bit wider there at 15 and 16, but again, this lap, it feels good, but probably not the lap that was quietly done in Q2, but still a solid lap. 2 greens at the end of this lap. Here we go, up to the line. Is it pole position for the Saudi Grand Prix? No, it's not. It's P2 on the grid. Checo Perez gets popped by 0.07 of a second. So as I said, the lap didn't feel like a QT lap, but you know, there's still 25 laps ahead of us. Anything can happen. Can we get a good start? And are we on for a potential race win?
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the Lower Hejaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and Skip completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Webber, Norris, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Stroll, Bottas, Albon, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Sargent, De Vries, Ocon, De Vries. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Alrighty then, it is time for the Saudi GP. This is the highest we've been in any career mode car ever on this channel so far. So, big pressure on us to get a really good start up against the two Red Bulls. And of course, everyone else behind us. Honestly, I don't know what strategy I'm going for here today. I'm thinking medium and hards because that's what everyone else is potentially going to be going for. We'll have some spare fuel on board as well, because I don't know exactly what fuel burn is going to be like, and I am not willing to test those boundaries because we're this high up the grid. Well then, the time has come to see what we can do at the very front of the grid. 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Saudi GP. Good initial jump from Perez, but we do a Fernando Alonso, and we're going to take the lead into turn 1. And Perez tries to fight it. We give him plenty of space, but we lead the Saudi GP. But it's only lap 1. There are still 25 laps ahead of us. But we lead the Saudi GP, and there's nothing that Checo can do in the first sector. But he might be able to do something here. But here comes Verstappen. He's got nowhere to go, though, because he's still side by side with Checo. We defend the inside. Verstappen almost gives us a nice shove. But who is going to take the lead out of the two Red Bulls here? Do we lead the first lap? Here comes Checo, and he leads the first lap. Oh, no. And there goes Verstappen as well. We're going to let both of them go because we're not as fast, or we do not have a faster car than those two. But here comes Charles Leclerc. Now we've got the two Ferraris behind us, side by side into turn 3. Or is that turn 4? I think it's turn 4. And we hang on to P3 for the moment. But here comes Leclerc again. And a bit of contact there as we make the run to the third chicane. So, yeah, warning. Collision warning there. Well, I decided to let him go because it's too early in the race, and it's most likely that the Red Bulls are going to get away at this rate. So as you can see, as soon as we got out of the slipstream of Leclerc, we had nothing to contend with. But right now, we're going to use a bit of our overtake, get into the slipstream. DRS will be enabled as soon as we cross the line, because we won't be able to use it. Anyway, we might not even need DRS now. So Leclerc's line is slightly compromised. He comes up into us and he's tagged us. We've got a corner cutting warning for being shoved off. Now the two Ferraris are side by side, and my teammate is there as well. So he's in what, 5th, 6th, something like that? No, he's 6th because we're 3rd, and the two Ferraris are fighting it. They're still side by side going around the first sector, but eventually one of them had to concede, and it was Charles Leclerc who had to concede that position. And now Mark Webber is all over the back of Leclerc's gearbox. He tries to go around the outside. Unfortunately, he cannot make the way. Now the Mercedes are 2x2 going around 13, and it's Russell that has the inside line. I think we'll let those two squabble it out at the moment. So, DRS enabled. The Red Bulls are not streaking away, but we're streaking away from the Ferraris. And Webber actually got past Leclerc at some point. So, quick update, as you saw there with Mark, nudged the wall back there. Red Bull, doesn't seem to be any team orders going on there at the moment. I tell you what, they'll have to prepare some team orders at the moment because they're not streaking away from me, and I'm just seeing them barely at some points as well. So with them squabbling and us staying within that undercut window, if we can stay there until the pit stops, we are in pretty good shape. And there they are up ahead. They're side by side going into turn 1. We're not too far away from the pit window now. So basically the first half of the race has just been trying to stay with these two as long as they can. They're going to go side by side into turn 4, and it's Checo that was on the outside, and he gets the lead back off Verstappen. So there is definitely no team orders at Red Bull at the moment, which is good for us because it's keeping us in play. However, if those two have been slingshotting each other for some time, this is Hamilton literally bump drafting Mark Webber, and he chooses not to go for the overtake. He literally bump drafted Webber the whole back straight, and he didn't even overtake him. How is that even possible? And here he goes. We fast forward time a little bit, and finally he goes for the move round the outside. And can he even get the move done? They're still side by side. Webber has the outside. He'll have the inside for 4. Can he stay ahead? He does. So Hamilton, with the benefit of the slipstream, doesn't even get past before 27. That is incredible. So anyway, pit stop time now. Hamilton into the pits. Set of hard compound tyres going on. And set of hards went on Verstappen. We're now into the pit lane as well. So we're already halfway through this race. And we are into the pit lane for a set of hard compound tyres. That's what everyone else is doing. The undercut is actually somewhat powerful on this game from what I've heard. So Verstappen and Perez were neck and neck of each other. We managed to get past Joe. So the following lap, Sainz, Russell and Checo are into the pits making their stop. Here comes Sergio Perez, and there we are entering turn 1, and there is Checo Perez. So that is the undercut working an absolute treat, not just for us, but for Verstappen as well. It's given him a 2-second gap, or actually a 3-second gap over Checo, and a near 4-second gap to us. So now, with Checo's tyres still coming up to temperature, this is an important phase for us here. We have to stay within the DRS if we have any chance of winning this race, because I tell you what, we have a solid chance, and this is part of the plan here, getting a slipstream, and then every lap or so we slingshot past Checo using a bit of our battery. However, we did make a mistake into 1 and 2. We went in a little bit deep, and at the end of this lap, the same lap that we got past Checo, he comes back and we decide to let him go. Now that is something I'm not going to do if it does come down to the last laps of this race. Mark Webber is out of the session with some kind of reliability problem, and now, yeah. So as long as we're staying with Checo, so we're fast forwarding time. This is how we gain on Checo. So we're using our battery. We've actually been saving our battery really well. However, we're not close enough to do anything into turn 1. But if we can get close enough to Checo at 1 or 2 points, we can use him as a slingshot to help us get closer to Max Verstappen. So here we go. So we're really close now. Don't go defensive, Checo, is what I'm saying to myself in this race. So now we are close enough to now use a bit of our battery, and we're going to slingshot past Checo with the help of DRS and the use of our battery, and we are going to get a nice tow. And look at that, we've gone from 2.6 seconds behind we were, and now we're 1.3 seconds behind. So definitely a slingshot definitely helps. Same lap, Checo is a lot closer. Look at the speed. of the Red Bull. But the thing is, because he's made that move, it gives us the DRS. However, we're not going to be that stupid and go for a stupid move into turn 1, but we are going to go for a move right here the following lap, and we are now under 1 second. So the plan, from what I was thinking, at the very from the start, or from when Checo came out, is working an absolute treat here at the moment. And now, this is crucial. We've got DRS to Verstappen, but I really don't want to be leading the last lap, because if we lead, if we're where Verstappen is on the last lap, and he's all over our gearbox, we have no chance of winning this race. So we need to play our cards perfectly here. Look at Checo, right up against the outside wall on the back straight, and on the run to 27, we're going to let him go. We've been letting Checo go at 27 pretty much the whole race, but we're not going to do that if it comes down to a side-by-side affair on the last lap. So we're on the penultimate lap now. We've got to continue staying with the Red Bulls. We have a big chance of winning this race. I was actually quick time update, so they were 40%, but that's not what I was concerned about. I was concerned about some body damage on the car, so there's nothing to worry about there. And so here we go, the start of the final stages of this race. So the last lap is going to be uncut. Here we go, out of turn 27. We are nice and close to the Red Bulls. What can we do as we head into turn 1? Checo is going to go the outside. Verstappen to the inside. I'm going to go to the inside. No, we're not. I thought about it, but I backed out because I want to get a good run out of turn 2. We do. Are we going to do anything about it, though? No, not quite. We're back in there for the moment. Now, who's going to get the big run? Checo takes the lead out of turn 4. Now, side by side with Verstappen. Can't do anything. We let him go. Still too early in the lap. It's not the right place to be going side by side. If we stayed side by side, that lets Checo off the hook and he would have won this race. Corner cutting warning there. Nice. So now, on to turn 13 now. Big moments coming up here. I'll tell you what, I do not want to be where Checo is at the moment. He is not in a good position, but Verstappen is close enough for a crazy move into turn 21, 22, 23. So he's right up his gearbox now. We're a good distance back if they are going to go side by side, and it looks like they might. Verstappen lunges. Oh, he thought about it. He doesn't make the move. Now, if they go side by side and they leave the door open on the inside, that's the only place that we're going to go. The inside will be the only place that we're going to go. Verstappen looks to the inside. Checo closes the door. Look at us coming in. Are we going to go to the inside? We dive on the inside of the two Red Bulls. We've taken the lead at the last corner. But now, they've both got DRS up to the line. The line can't come quick enough, but I think it's going to come just in time. We've won our first race. Can you believe it?
Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friends. Well done.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
I cannot believe what the hell just happened. A dive bomb on the two Red Bulls at the last corner on the last lap. But the funny thing is, the inside line was the only line that we could take, because if we stayed behind, we would have gotten third. But the speed that we carried was just insane, and honestly, the door was open and we took it. But yeah, the podium I would have been happy with the podium regardless, but the win was absolutely on the cards, because we may not get many of these in our first season. But if we keep upgrading our car, who knows? Honestly, who knows? So one of us got a DNF last time, and the other one scored points. This time, it's the other way around. But for us, we got the big dub. I mean, if you look at that, that's like a season's worth for like a backmarker car that scores fringe points. Probably like a PB 7th place, if you think about it. But boy, unbelievable. A dive bomb on the 2 Red Bulls on the last lap. I mean, after Checo came out of the pits, I knew what could potentially happen. You know, the Red Bulls not giving each other space and not working together, fighting each other. That's what kept us in play, and that is why we ended up winning the race. And you know, us working with Checo was another part in this win. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible how we were able to stay with Checo, not lose DRS. If we had lost DRS to Checo, there's no way we would have won this race. Yeah, us staying with Checo after that second stint when he came out really got us the win today. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. Imagine if we could keep this momentum heading into our home race in the next episode. Oh, that would be something. It really would. It would give us a huge amount of confidence. But I think after about 3 or 4 races, I'll have a better understanding of what this car feels like. I mean, the car feels like an absolute rocket ship. I mean, Mark was up there today. If he didn't have that engine failure, we'd be looking at, a 30-point round. Absolutely, 100%. But it's absolutely incredible. And if Mark could stay up there with us, we are going to be really challenging the Ferraris and the Mercs, because the Red Bulls are just in a class of their own at the moment. Well, they weren't in a class of their own today, because ultimately it was both Checo and Max costing themselves a victory today by not working together in the early stages. Gifted us a chance to stay with it, because we were literally within that undercut threat for the whole first stint, and us getting DRS on Checo to catch up to Verstappen is the real reason why we won this race. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to see plenty more F1 and any other racing game content. This is going to take a long time to sink in, but we're going to have to focus ahead on our home Grand Prix next time out. Hopefully that we get a good result there too.